Della, who has an update for you on your forecast on this First Alert Weather Wednesday.
It is a First Alert Weather Day brought to you by your weather authority. Rain likely for most of the day today. Now, here's the positive part of that. All right. Okay. We're in a drought. Rain likely all day is a great news. We don't want too much rain in too short period of time because we know we can still flood even though we're very dry across the region. We're not expecting any heavy rainfall that's going to lead to flash flooding. That's part of the good news. Bad news is I'm starting to get concerned about the winds. Later this afternoon into this evening, winds will become very gusty, and as this low makes its closest approach to us, we could have tropical storm force wind gusts, especially near water. And we know when the wind's blowing, we're pushing water, so we will have some coastal flooding concerns for our eastern facing shoreline. Offshore right now, you look at southeast Louisiana, we have this hole over us, but offshore it is growing in intensity. The rain is starting to increase in coverage. This is slowly advancing up towards the north, towards our neck of the woods. So we're going to see increasing rain percentages throughout the course of this morning, and that rain is likely to be with us not only this morning, into this afternoon, into this evening before it shuts down sometime around 8, 9 o'clock. Here's where it's raining right now. Our northern tier is actually the one getting in on the wet weather from Hammond up north along I-55 to the Mississippi border. Bogalusa getting some heavier downpours. More of this about to move into I-12 from I-55. So get ready. If you're on the North Shore, the streets are going to turn wet. There's the hole over the South Shore areas, but as I bring you down south, there's certainly going to be a lot more rain farther and farther down to the south of us that's going to be coming farther inland. Here we look at our flood potential for today. You might notice something. We're not covered in it any longer. They've taken it totally away from our area, which is interesting because we were under a level 2 out of 4 if you go 2 days ago. Yesterday we were under a level 1 out of 4 for today, and now they've dropped it totally. They're in the same thinking as the weather team here at Fox 8 that all of the rain, the heaviest of rain, is going to stay offshore. We're going to get consistent rain, maybe some downpours, but it shouldn't last too long to cause any major problems. So let's play this out. Here comes the low pressure getting closer to the coastline. By lunch, we are totally socked in on some rain, some of which may be heavy at times. But here's the real bad stuff. It's where the warm air mass is right out ahead of the low pressure area. That's where the severe weather is. That's where the heavy rainfall will be. And it's going to stay out over the open Gulf. We will shut the rain machine off sometime later this evening, 6, 7 o'clock. But the low pressure is closest to us then. So when the rain subsides, the winds will become gusty, and that means we're probably going to see those wind gusts upwards of tropical storm force for a short duration later on this evening. Tomorrow, the mess is gone. Tomorrow is going to be a much quieter weather day, even though we might get stuck in the cloud cover for a period of time. There's all the heavy rain offshore where we're expecting 5+ inches. Could get a 2-inch, 3-inch, 4-inch in and around Venice. The southeastern coast, right at the mouth of the river, there's a higher than normal chance that we'll get more rain there. But generally speaking, all of the region, because it's going to rain consistently for the next 12 hours, we're probably going to see around 1 inch of rain when all is said and done. Let's play out these wind gusts because this is another story. Like I said, this is more of a concern later on in the day today into this evening. Offshore gales pick up around lunch, just gusting 30, 35 miles per hour inland. But watch the green overspread our area by this evening. So the rain's ending, but 8, 9 o'clock, we still have the offshore gales. The low pressure is right there. We're getting those strong east to northeasterly winds, which could gust 40, 45 miles per hour. 45 miles per hour wind can cause some minor power outages, so it's something to just take note of for later on this evening. Because of the wind blowing, we're going to push up the tide levels. Our eastern facing shoreline, you're under a coastal flood warning for tides running about 2 to maybe upwards of 4 feet above normal. We're not in a high tide cycle right now, which is good news. So that's fighting against those higher coastal flooding numbers. There's that 7-day. And let's get to Saturday. Saturday's looking awesome. And guess what? That nice weather from the weekend, I think it's going to last most of next week. So today's bad. We have the First Alert Weather Day for not so much anything significant in the rain department, but it's just we've gone so long without seeing a rain event like this. It's great news for that in that regard, but watching that wind this evening.
Well, you said yesterday you thought the big stuff would stay offshore.
And it looks to stay that way too.
Good news there.